What's going on, folks? I'm here to talk about an aquatics plant vendor. I use the term vendor in this case extremely loosely. But I'm here to talk to you today about From the Ashes Aquatics, which is Sarah Hale. She's known from her semi-popular group Aquarium Plants Anonymous by Hale. And if you guys have been paying attention to any of the big groups in the Planet Tank Center, No Games Aquarium Plants, you notice there was a lot of controversy surrounding this woman over the past month. Basically what had happened is she had made deals with quite a few people across the aquascaping community and actually failed to live up to her part of the deal. I'm going to talk about my experience with dealing with From the Ashes Aquatics, okay? Before I decided to rescape this tank, I pulled about 150 stems. Actually, I pulled more than that. I pulled out close to 500 and something stems to sell and trade off. I made a deal with Hale from the Ashes Aquatics. I would send her 150 stems. These stems are grown under high light, EI dosing, CO2. They were high quality stems. So, we arranged our deal. The first week there was a little miscommunication because she thought I was going to add more to my order, some actually cash payment for some cryptocoins and things like that. That disagreement lasted, or misunderstanding lasted about 3 days. And I told her, I said, "Hey, have you shipped yet?" She said, "No, I thought you were ordering more." I said, "No, I'm gonna get my plants from another vendor," which I ended up going through Shane Braun for most of what you see in this tank. But So anyway, the month of January started going on, and every week she never sent me a tracking number. Okay, so I began to ask her, "Sarah, where are my plants? Where are my plants?" And every week, at 7 different occasions, she told me, "I'm shipping them tomorrow. I'll ship them Monday." 7 different occasions. Okay, exactly 1 month passed by, and there the last 2 weeks of that month, she would just not respond to my private messages or anything. Okay, so I decided to take my fight with her public, and the aquascaping community on Facebook just absolutely blew up. There were threads with hundreds upon hundreds of comments, multiple threads with hundreds of comments, people coming forward about their misdealings with this woman, my bad deals, things like that, showing the plants that they got from her, which were basically just bags of slop, everything had melted, things covered in just hair algae, just terrible quality. And, it all came to a head. Things just got way out of hand. And, finally she got online and said, "Okay, fine, I'm shipping your plants." They've been bagged up this whole time. They're ready to ship out. They've been bagged up the whole time. My plants have been sitting in a bag for a month. You've got to be joking me. But anyway, apparently she had told her father that, that I had been cyberbullying her. Well, in fact of the matter is I never said anything about the woman, her personally. I said that she was a scammer. I said that, she was a thief. Because at that point, one could safely assume that they had been stolen from and scammed. So anyway, he got online and made all these exuberant claims, posting as under her profile, like, "Oh, this man, he got online and he messaged all of her friends saying that she was a fat bitch and all this," which never actually happened. Completely absurd. Threatened to sue me. All kinds of nonsense. But anyway, the entire community just got a big chuckle, especially over at Planet Tanks. Aaron Dutch's group is fucking hilarious. So anyway, I did finally get my Buse flounder in the mail. The deal was going to be 45 Buse. She actually agreed to send me some extras in exchange, because I had to wait so long in dealings with her. So I finally got my Buse, unboxed it. And let me tell you, I was just unboxing a box of absolute shit. I cleaned them up, let them flow a few days, try to salvage as much as I possibly could. And let me show you what I was actually able to salvage out of this box of Buse flounder. You see these little guys here tied on this log? There's barely enough rhizome on there to actually get them to attach to that log, so I had to get them on there the best way I can, which is not optimal. It's not even facing the direction that I need them to face. Now, I'm just hoping that they'll come back And these little guys down here, what I could attach to this little piece of mesh, they would just barely, go into the holes, like a little bit of rhizome that was exposed. And then I have, just a small handful floating in my RCS tank right here. So out of the 45 that I was supposed to get, the 45 plus some, which is what she claimed, I got, it looks like, 5, maybe 5 actually usable views, and I'm also using the word usable very, very loosely. And then this down here, which I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on there, 9 or 10, plus maybe 5 that are floating over here. So 5, 10, 15 actual usable Buse flounder out of the 45 that I was supposed to get. Because the rest were just absolutely destroyed. They were melted, just completely not usable. A lot went into the trash. And let's see if I can actually, I saw one floating in here a little bit ago. Yeah, here's one. See these? This was actually, part of her count. This, I can't see, like my camera won't even focus in on that. Let me try to get it to something comparable. Okay, yeah, there we go. You see that? That is smaller than my pinky nail. It was actually a part of the count from this woman. So, long story short, do not deal with Ashes from the Ashes Aquatics. That is an absolutely terrible company. I highly doubt they even have a business license. They are not reputable. Okay, the plants that they send out are just absolute garbage. And Sarah Hale, she's tried all she can to make me look like the bad guy here. The fact, you can let this, let this speak. It speaks volumes. So, just steer clear of Sarah Hale, steer clear of Aquarium Plants Anonymous by Hale, and by all means, steer the fuck clear of From the Ashes Aquatics. And if you do, and you get screwed, just like I did, you better watch out for old daddy. He might sue you. He's going to take me to court. He back traced me. Consequences will never be the same. I done goofed.